Hello everybody, welcome to the last day of repairs on our Alpha rail. This is the final upgrade that we will be doing to this rail. Those who have been with us since at least the spring may remember that I threw a shock out of the side of the Alpha. We here today have a kit, a simple little kit that's going to help us with the upgrade on that. Before we put that part in, if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. Tons of great ride videos, install videos, repair videos, all sorts of stuff. Tons of fun. If you're looking to upgrade your Alpha skid, you can watch the whole playlist in the upper right hand corner right now, and you can see everything that I've done specifically to this skid to make it a little beefier. It's the last part we need to install. Let's get to it. This one's super easy. Okay, Alpha skid. I currently have the shock out of it right now because it was thrown out on the hill and I just haven't put it in yet. Again, as with all these upgrades we've done, you don't actually need to take the skid out. I'm just taking the skid out just for purposes of demonstration. That's it. This upgrade we're doing is the easiest one that we've done out of all three of them. So the issue that we had actually ended up being right here. This is the lower shock mount. So this is where your shock mounts up, right there. As with a lot of things on these earlier rails, they tend to be a little wimpy. So what happened to me is this bolt for this lower shock mount backed out, and it actually backed out far enough that it was able to wiggle around in there and the bolt oblong this hole. So we needed to either get an entirely new rail or use some different hardware and tap out this hole a little bigger. And I did that already. This is the kit that we're going to be installing today. This is a bushing kit, an upgraded bushing kit for front arm suspension mounts on the Alphas. So this hardware is actually built a little bit bigger. This is now a 7/16 fine thread bolt as compared to the 10 mil what they had in before. So the 10 mil actually would have been this size. There's the two different pieces of hardware that we're using. So because I actually don't have the original mounting hardware for the lower suspension mount, because it's currently sitting on top of Mount Hall somewhere, this would have been similar size to it. This one for the upper mount will actually be similar. So we're actually upgrading the bolt to a thicker bolt. I already did the tapping on this, so that's already done. We have a longer reach with this bolt. We got a heavier gauge bolt. The problem with this setup from Cat is actually the fact that we have a very small bolt here holding everything together, and in addition to that, because of the way the dynamics work on this suspension, with this shock being mounted on the side, it's actually side loading this mount all the time. This mount here is always being side loaded. Our bushing kit here, that's going to help fix that today. Okay, so let's have a quick look at this bushing kit because it actually has some important little designs here that make it far superior to the Arctic Cat one, which I don't actually have here to compare to you firsthand because it's on a mountain. The idea of this kit is to beef it up and to solve the backing out issues. So we have a stainless steel bushing here. This is actually a shoulder bushing, as well as it has this peen face on it. So when this face mounts up to your Alpha rail, it's actually getting a little bit of bite from all these little dimples that are spread around it. So it's actually staying a little bit hooked into the rail after you tighten your hardware. So this isn't going to be rotating or moving around on you like the Cat one was. We have a grease groove in the middle so we can grease it up, as well as we are using some O-rings just to seal it up in there. Comes with a longer bolt. I had to use a 7/16 fine tap to go a little bit deeper into this rail so that we could do this install. You can actually get this kit with the 10mm bolt as well. You would do that if, say, you wanted to upgrade your Cat before this happened to you, before you need to make that tap and make the threads a little bit deeper to accommodate this larger bolt. There is also no need to drill through the entire rail on this kit, so let's put it in. Let's do the last upgrade that this Alpha rail needs for it to be all beefed up and I won't bend another one. So one thing that we're going to do before install here is we're going to make sure that there's no powder coating left anywhere around this mount. We don't want any powder coating to be in between our new shoulder bushing and our rail. So I'm just going to take my Dremel here with the flapper wheel. I'm just going to clean that up real quick. These are the top mount shock bushings. They actually allow for a little bit of rotation in the shock, which isn't actually a good thing. This isn't something that we want, especially on our rear shock. This is later model Cat bushings, especially used on their front suspension setup. In the front, it actually makes a little bit more sense, but on the back, we don't need any of that. So this kit that we're gonna install is actually gonna keep this shock from rotating just a little tiny bit, and that'll help keep things tight. Don't be afraid of Loctite, kids. Everybody thinks that Loctite is permanent. I'm actually going to put on more than what I think I need. Loctite is not permanent, kids. You can use a little bit of heat, and even red will pop right out. So we are using Loctite on this one. We're going to use red even. If you find you just can't get your shock back in, don't be afraid to let out a little bit of air. Yeah, there's usually tension on this, so if you just find you just can't get it in, let some air out of your shock. It's make your life way easier. And we have a 5/8 head on this bolt now, and we're just going to take it up to what Cat recommends for their torque, which is 45 foot-pound. And just like that, we are installed. Actually, I think a bunch of the guys from Black Cats are actually running this exact same kit in their unit. This gets our turbocharged Alpha back on the hill. Let's just quickly go over the things that we've done to this thing over the last few videos, because this skid is pretty much as pimped out as you can get it. There are more things you can do, but this skid has pretty much had the endurance kit installed on it at this point. So we've upgraded our bushing kit here just to accommodate the fact that the Alpha threw that shock bushing and bolt right out. Moving forward, we have our BMP Backwoods Mountain Products full skid brace that also helps out with these older model tabs as well. So we got a nice beefed up rail. Moving it back even further, we now have this ZRP scissor mount, which I've never actually seen in person, the factory Alpha mounts breaking, but apparently it's an issue. We've also, at the same time, we've done a through bolt here. Newer, later model Alphas already have this done. This is a 19, so that is actually an upgrade on this one. So that is pretty much it. And of course, we have TKI billet wheels on the back of it. So there isn't really a whole lot more that we can do to this skid to make it much better. This is pretty much, for the most part, the best that you can make an Alpha skid. I'm going to give everything on here, all the grease points, a quick grease, and there isn't very many of them. So this skid is ready to go back in, and that'll get us back on the hill. The turbocharged Alpha lives again. So that's it. All our repairs are done. Our skid is ready to go back in our Alpha. And that's it. That's all the things we're doing to it. Oh, except for this box I got from 365 Designs we got to put in. Thanks everybody for watching today's video. Don't forget to leave a like. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. And we'll see everybody in the next one. Still more fun stuff coming. Bye everyone.